Welcome to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined in Traitors Tower by my co-host, Brian.
Hello.
And our co-host, Brett.
Oh, what's up? It's you guys. Yes. Traitors.
As you can see here in the title, we're here to talk a surprise hit for us. This was Peacock's The Traitors. This is the US version, a riff off of an original UK show. However, like I said, 10 episodes on Peacock, all available, all dropped at once this week. And we'll talk about that. Overall, right off the top, I loved this show. I love the show. If you don't know what the show is, basically, if you ever heard of The Mole, take The Mole, add two other moles, and you mix celebrities with regular people. Add Alan Tudyk as an in-character Scottish castle keeper, and you have yourself The Traitors. We'll talk about like the structure, things we liked, if there's anything we didn't like, but just impressions first. Brian, then Brett. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought the show was actually really good. Like you mentioned, the mole. I think it has all the great parts of the mole and none of the bad parts. I really enjoyed like us knowing, the audience knowing ahead of time who was who, and I think that eliminated a lot of crappy things about the mole. What's it, confessionals? The challenges were fine. I thought the social interaction, and I think the mix of average Joes and celebrities made it even better.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think the show for me, when I first started watching the first couple episodes, I actually was annoyed. I thought the characters were all very annoying. And then you had the bitchy blonde crew with Brandy and Kate. And then so once Brandy was gone, and then it just became Kate, and she was really just very out there and annoying the whole time. But also it got to be kind of funny the way she was just like ruining everything. So if you didn't want to call it Traitors, you could have called it Caters.
Ooh, I like that. We do talk about that breakup, but quick shout out to Brandy. Brandy sussed out, I think, 2 out of the 3 within 2 weeks before she was gone. She knew who they were. Like, she wasn't convinced. She knew Christian. And I think she was like on to Suri too. So she was like very quickly. I think if you'd left her around, it would have really probably fallen apart quickly. I want to talk about the cast really quick. I want to talk about standouts. Obviously, we're not going to bury the lead. Suri, masterfully played game. Masterfully played game. I really don't understand why nobody really was sussing her outside of maybe really like Brandy. I mean, like historically, I guess I take that back. I don't think any of the celebrities probably really watched Survivor. Maybe some of the regular people did. Like, what do you guys think? Like, why was she able to like fly under the radar all the way to the end to actually win all the money herself?
I mean, that's what she did in Survivor, because like in Survivor, you gotta be a little athletic, and she's not, and she did it every single time. Like she mentioned that she lost right at the end both times that she was on Survivor, and it's just I don't know. I've always liked her as a player, so her being picked as a traitor I thought was awesome because she has that great social skill. Like she doesn't overstep her lines like as like Christian did. Like she just played the perfect like way. And I was kind of thinking the same thing about the Big Brother guy, but Brett knows more about him, I'm sure. But I thought it was awesome. I don't know how they didn't even suspect her once. She never got her name written down once.
That's crazy.
So for Siri, I mean, I think this like her Survivor stint, where I'm pretty sure she got to Final Four twice, and then this, I mean, she might be just the best social strategy game player ever, and just her ability to get people to trust her so much is insane. Like the way it ends with the vote outs, crazy. And then the way just no one suspected her the whole time. Even the whole thing she had going with Stephanie, it was like her and Stephanie had some sort of agreement where they would have told each other. And then when she lied to Stephanie's like, okay, 100% no, Siri's not a traitor, or she would have told me. But I'm like, why would she have
devastation at the end with the last 2
I know.
with Siri was like, it was real. That was real pain.
Yeah.
That was real pain because neither of them were celebrities. So it's like that was a big loss for them. It's tough.
In Survivor terms, these were her 2 goats that she drugged to the end and just demolished.
Right.
Oh, she sacrificed them to the reality TV gods. I mean, I went ooh, and I literally went oh, like
that. But even worse, what about? So I mean, going right to that point, she betrayed Ari. She's like, he doesn't deserve this money. I could have ended this game, but I know these 2 trust me. So if I just throw a red stone in, they're just gonna vote out Ari, and then I'm gonna get all the money.
But he just rolled over like a dog. That's the thing. Like, that's how much power she had. He's like, I'm just backing out.
He just quit.
She's like a Sith. She's like Sith Lord.
Dude,
she's like Sith Lord.
full disclosure during that part, I rewound like 3 or 4 times. I thought I missed something. I'm like, where's the vote? Did I miss the vote? What do you mean he's gone? Like, I know she's like, she never even says he's a traitor. Like, she never says the words. He just like, okay, yeah, bye. I got money. Bye.
He says
I mean, Ari's a douche, but like,
he said he was. Well, everyone loved him in this show. He seemed like a really nice guy here.
What a reformation! If you watch The Bachelor, his season, he's like one of the all-time like hated guys.
I didn't.
And I think she felt okay doing that.
Brian,
At some point, it comes up that Ari has money, so he has money, and he wasn't there half the time as a traitor, so she wants to get rid of him. And I think he bowed out because he was caught so off guard by it. He didn't know what to say other than throw her under the bus too. And if he I think he probably was like, I'd rather just take the L, let her win, than just bring us both down and then let these other two bums win the game.
Right, because she played an S tier ranking game. Like it was perfectly played.
Ari's like
bound to it.
Ari doesn't care because he's like super loaded. Like Ari was like an IndyCar driver before he was on The Bachelor, and he's like one of those like luxury real estate guys. You know what I mean? Like he's chilling. But yeah, that was classic. One character I do call out. I mean, Kate was funny. The Kate stuff was classic. Her trying to throw the game makes it all the way to the end anyway. That dude Christian was
too much.
The worst. Oh, he was annoying, man. Like he tried to carpet bomb them so many times and sat. Why did he announce the whole like they tried to recruit me thing? Like
I just think he was too full of himself. That's really what it came down to.
Both him and Cody threw their games under the bus because they said too much. Like they both tried to plant a seed when they should have just said nothing and let people, at least with, I mean, Cody went out of line with whatever he was saying. It was random. Christian, I guess he was trying to make up for the fact that there was no death. So everyone was wondering what was going on. But at this point, he was so under the radar too. He shouldn't have said anything because he just immediately basically announced, hey, I know more about this game than you do. So either I am a traitor or, like, who cares? I could have been a traitor. Get rid of me. So, and
even when Ari came on as a traitor, I even think he did a better job than Christian for the
sure.
Like, which is crazy.
When they brought him on, I was like, oh, they're gonna get rid of Christian at some point. That was almost like automatic in my head that was gonna happen. Okay.
No, I was just saying, just every time he came into the traitor deliberation, he just was like hopped up, like it's just like it's.
Sari was getting offended that he wanted to murder everybody.
Right.
I thought it was funny that
it is funny, but it's just too much.
Let's kill people. Who are we killing?
The perfect segue is I said this to Brian probably like 2 or 3 episodes in. My favorite thing I think low key about this show is just the casual use of the word murder. It's like, I'm gonna get fucking murdered tonight. Like, oh, these gonna murder you. It's like, oh, I can't believe Johnny got murdered this morning. Like, it's just like the word murder is like 40 times an episode. We've always talked about wanting to have a murder mystery TV show, like reality TV show, and this is probably as close as we're gonna get.
Yeah.
So Traitors is big thumbs up for me.
I think it gets to season 2, like automatic. I think.
It's an automatic. Great. I think two things. One, other favorite part, Alan Tudyk, amazing in character the whole time. Great. This show should be weekly.
I agree. Or bunches. Like it needs. I don't like seeing it all at once. I like the suspense of. Like it would have been fun to like hang on a cliffhanger. Yeah. I agree.
We would speculate the hell out of this show. So Peacock, honestly, we're telling you straight up, like, do the premiere, like, do them like weekly. Like, Brian says bunches, but I'm telling you, I think you would have people if you just cut out a little bit of things in the episodes, maybe made it like 8 episodes instead of 10. You'd have a really good weekly show.
Yeah, I would get behind that. It's like the one time we'll ever say like we want a weekly show.
Seriously, they'd be extending the revenue because you'd have to subscribe to Peacock for more than a month.
Yeah, like I don't. This seems like they underrated themselves on this, and like I really. That's why I'm gonna say. That's why we want to get this review out like as soon as possible. Like we want to be able to actually positively put it out. We want people to watch this. I mean, it's tough too, man. Right? Like I think it's tougher for us to recommend shows to people when they're like, oh, you gotta go watch. Here's 10 episodes.
Yeah, it's hard, man. 10 was a lot.
And they're like an hour a piece. I'd like to be like, oh, this show just premiered. Check it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like then you have a better shot than me. Like someone's like, it's hard to say people are going to invest 10 hours.
I mean, I think people are more willing though to binge watch something when they have time versus like watching one episode, being hooked enough to come back for the second and then the third and whatever.
I think in more like serialized storytelling for reality TV. Yeah. Like binging like Jersey Shore or like Floribama or whatever. But like when you have the elimination things, like it's like trying to binge the challenge. Like I don't like binging the challenge. Say like I don't want to watch like 17 weeklies in a row, and like it takes away the sting of people getting eliminated, right? Like you sit on it, like you and Kevin are doing it every week. You have like a whole week that you're sitting on that elimination. Like there were some really great gameplay moves and some twists and changes, like the recruitments and the trials and like things we could have spent a full episode just talking about the twist, right? Instead, like we're not going to talk about any of these twists because we're trying to do a concise season review, and that's what's the good and the bad, right?
Like the one con I can think of.
Yeah, for sure.
For us,
like that, I think the
like
challenges were cool.
Yeah. What were you saying, Brett?
I was gonna say, I mean, for us, from our perspective, recording this, I like doing it kind of on a somewhat weekly basis because when they do 4 to 10 episode drops in one day, and then we record that night, that's very difficult.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work, man.
Binge watch everything in time to
dude. That's like
record it.
That's any of the Netflix shows Brian and I do. Like those are always like tough. 4 or 5 hours at once, and we got to get it out day of. So it's like, trust me.
That's why I missed the past couple circles. I'm like, oh crap, I'm only on episode 2.
Brett, let me ask you a question. What those Big Brother people like? What was your when you first saw them on the show? Like, what was your take on them?
Yeah. So going back to that, so Cody being a traitor, I thought he would have done a much better job than he did. Right off the get-go, he seemed very like strung out and flustered looking. Like you could see it on his face. His eyes looked weird. I don't think we saw too much of like what he was saying and stuff, but just looking at him in the camera, I was like, he looks stressed. So I feel like people would pick up on that. And he's a runner-up on his first season playing Big Brother, and then he won his second season.
He won All-Stars in 2020
and just demolished he basically played a series level game, but won a bunch of competitions too in All-Stars. And then Rachel, she also won a season, just pretty much beast mode of the whole season. And in the very first episode, I think she says she knows Cody is a traitor because she hangs out with him outside the house. But after that confessional, it never came up one more time.
Yeah, that was a very good point. I was like, oh, he's done, but then it just went away.
And she didn't suss him out the whole rest of the game. So like he left before she did, I guess, and I don't even know if she voted for him.
Listen, I think there was a lot of good gameplay. Again, like even like you're saying there, I have a million things running through my mind now, but it's like that's why I think this should be a weekly show. It's so crazy to say. We could have reviewed it episode by episode, but again, no one's going to consume it that way now, right?
Yeah,
like
with them all out there, like people want to know. What was challenges off the top of your head? Like any of them that like stuck out to you that you thought were really cool?
The buried alive thing was kind of cool. I mean, it's like different. I like any of the ones where they have like maps and like they have to do some navigating. That was like similar to the mole. I like those.
I like the laser challenge.
The laser was cool.
I thought it was funny, just the way they hit the lasers, and I mean, it looks like fun to me. The rest
barrel
of them,
one was funny because
the barrels. That was the only other good one.
The barrel one was actually really cool. I like that one.
The
you had to make
decisions,
and that one was. I like that.
It reminded me exactly of the mole when Avery was like, I want people to think I'm the mole, so I'm just going to throw shit on the ground. Yeah. And that's exactly like what Kate was doing.
The challenge, a season of the challenge could learn from this show where like they start with like 20 people. They're eliminating 2 people an episode. It's great. I would love to see like a 10 episode like sprint season of the challenge where it's just like bang,
and get rid of a lot like every episode.
Yeah.
At least 2 an episode. The challenge used to do that. They used to get rid of a guy and a girl every episode. Now they're doing just switching back.
Now they add 6 people for the first 6 weeks, and then they start eliminating people.
Well, anybody off the top of your head, like just like people anybody besides like obviously Suri and like the winners, like stuck out to you as like players that you enjoyed? Or
Ryan Lochte was funny.
Yeah, he was just there. I
liked Christian as a traitor because he was probably the best person they could have picked of all the just normal people.
I want to give Brandy a shout out. I thought Brandy sussed out really well, and she just was because she actually caught the right people right away, she got eliminated. So like big rule for next year, keep your mouth shut. If you're sussing people out right away, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Don't put it out there that I might know, because they're probably gonna get killed. Literally killed.
That's why I think seeing several seasons would be good, because of the way it could end with the whole you have to do a green or red rock until we come to a conclusion that there's no traitors left. I think that makes it super interesting, because you could the traitors could be gone, or there could be a lot there, and you could just keep throwing each other under the bus so that you're dwindling the numbers down so you get more money.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I think if you could get to a point where it's 1v1 trader versus non-trader, and the trader has to lose at that point because you're right. And then, or you could get 1v1 non-traders, and then they probably both lose because they want to take the other one out.
I kind of like the format they set up. I just think what happened was they didn't imagine that they were going to end up with it being like 2-2. I think they really thought there was going to end up being like maybe one trader left at the end, and that's where like they thought maybe a faithful would have thrown it in because they're trying to. I think I would like to see them try it again one more time the same way, and then if it really like if that kind of crap happens again, I don't really think it needs to come down to 1-1. I like the idea that there could be 3 faithful and or 3 traders and 1 faithful left, right? Like that. There's like crap like that. I like that. Or right, or like one trader left and has to try to snake their way out at the end. And like I don't know. Like
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities with that voting system at the end.
I think we were this most reality shows, and we'll all can kind of I think like agree on this. Like usually by the time we get to the finale, it's kind of just like the end, right? And it's not usually like the highlight of a season. I think we got that as like a little bonus with this show, right? Like I was already a plus hand thumbs up on this show by episode 9, by the finale. The finale ending was just like the cherry on top. Like if Suri hadn't won, I still would have liked the show. Like it wouldn't have changed my opinion. The winners wouldn't have changed my opinion, but like that really like put it over the top. So I am just like you, Brett. Maybe like we can go back and watch one of the UK seasons, like one of the older ones, and see how it compares, just like structurally. But
yeah, that was a great ending, and I think it was just it built on itself. Like the beginning was kind of whatever. I was half distracted,
kind of corny, like the start, right? And
but
like,
by the time they got rid of Cody, and then like I was like, damn, I didn't expect that. And then you have them getting rid of or bringing in Ari. Like it just the interest level was going up because they were changing the format that they started with and making it more interesting.
I agree.
And then the whole Kate thing, like messing stuff up and no one voting her out.
One thing I also liked about like a trader winning is like it didn't seem scripted to me.
No.
Like they're like, oh, in the end the good guys are gonna win. And it's like, nah, it's not.
The only moment of the entire season I thought could have been scripted or producer pushed in any way was when stupid Christian made the announcement about the recruitment. But like it's still in his head. It could have been suggested, right? And he just kind of went for it. I don't think any of the reality veterans would have ever taken any suggestions because they're like, screw you, like we know what we're doing. But yeah, for our audience, so like this is a pretty glowing review for us. We're not usually always unanimous on a show, and especially in a positive manner. So we highly recommend this. We're going to throw it out on our socials. We're going to try to push. We'll do some clips. I have a few TikToks ready, just like some random ones. We'll go back and we'll try to pull some other ones, but we're going to try to get people out there. We would love to see a season 2. Any Peacock, NBC officials watching right now?
They are.
Put it on a main network too. Or stick it on Netflix.
Yeah, I'll even take the Peacock.
Why is it on Peacock? What is that?
I mean, it's free.
It's not. You watched it for free?
I don't pay.
It's free. You just
I don't pay for Peacock.
You do not pay for Peacock.
You pay for Peacock?
You paid for Peacock Premium?
You have to get premium
like
to watch
premium.
The first episode is free, and then the other 9 you had to pay for premium.
I don't pay for
Sign
Peacock,
up for your email address. We'll talk about this offline. For those of you like, subscribe, social medias, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook group. We have a Reddit that we don't pay attention to that much, but we'll get there. Check out all of our other reviews this week. We did Below Deck, Love and Hip Hop, The Challenge, the Love Island season preview. We also had week 3 of The Circle season 5. A lot of stuff coming. We have the MILF Manor premiere this Sunday, so look out a review Monday morning for that. And then, like we said, we have The Bachelor coming in 2 weeks. Married at First Sight as well. We will have our
we gotta
first
do that.
review of Married at First Sight coming next week as well. Especially once the wedding comes, we really pick up, and then when they're living together for sure. So lots of great stuff coming. Check out, look out for ourselves, all the other co-hosts that pop in and rotate. But for myself, Brian, Brett, thank you. Peace.